Welcome, welcome to Selenite Wellness. It is lab results time. Yes, the infamous lab results that we all have been waiting for. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And those that are returning, thank you for coming on this 30-day Apple of Eve journey with me. I appreciate it so very much. And I thank you for all the shares, all the likes, all the feedback, and everything. I do have lab results. Old results, new results. We're gonna get to it. Sorry it's so late. Like I had intentions. I got them yesterday evening, had intentions to do a video yesterday. So much amazing things have been happening. Was gonna do it today, and it's just like a lot of stuff has been happening. When I send out my waist beads, I actually have been sending out these little testers of my Love Attraction Refresher Mist, and people have been really digging it and really placing orders on it. So that has kind of just took on this whole other body of itself, I guess you could say. So I had a bunch of pre-orders on that, shockingly, because I wasn't expecting it. It was just a preview of a product that is to come for Selenite Wellness outside of my waist beads and the Healing Stone packs. And it has just taken off. The last 2 days have just been super amazing. So when I'm getting off work, it's been really busy, and I kind of wanted to get to it and didn't get the opportunity to. So I'm so excited about that. So super excited. But now let's get down to the Apple of Eve. So as y'all can see, babe, we rinsed this. We scraped this bottle, and we still didn't get the full 30 days. Tuesday was the last day, and I got down to the second dose. So let me tell you, to make sure that I had a full teaspoon, I took the key lime juice, squeezed it in here, added my little bit of water, and shook it up. And shook it up in here so we can get every nook and cranny of this Apple of Eve. So we emptied that. We did that thing. Empty. Nothing anywhere. Just empty, right? And let me tell you, I have a great team of doctors. It's 2 actual physicians, 3 PAs, and a nurse practitioner, and then, of course, nurses and things of that nature. And I have been going to them for a while, so they are so aware of the holistic aspects that I like to do. They know when anything come up or I get sick, I handle holistic stuff first. Then we pop back to modern medicine, and oftentimes, even when I do take modern medicine, I also take some holistic aspect to support it. So they are well aware of this journey when I ask for O results. So I will tell you, I didn't get the numbers that I thought, y'all. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be a minerals compound, and my minerals level, potassium, magnesium, calcium, they all dropped. I was shocked. Those were the one things that I just knew would have went up. Now, don't get me wrong. They ain't dropped by a whole lot. We're going to start with them, because when I saw that, I didn't start with them. I started looking at like the iron and the B12 and all those things. And when I got to the minerals, and I was like, wait, what the hell? It was so bad. Let me tell y'all, I'm flipping pages left and right. So when I got to the minerals, I'm like, did I get these goddamn things mixed up? Like, wait, is this the last result in it? No. So my last results compared to this results, my minerals had dropped. So let's get down. Let me get to the minerals on these. And I'm sorry, because these pages, they're not the same because they weren't ordered in the same order sequence. So they're a little bit out of order. So let's get to it. Alrighty. So my sodium level stayed the same. Didn't decrease, didn't increase, stayed the same at 141 is what the sodium level is. And 136 to 145 is your normal range for sodium. So I'm just rocking in there, right? My creatine level, hanging in there. The BUN level dropped down to 11. My potassium level dropped down. That range is 3.6 to 5.2. My initial was 4.1, dropped down to 3.8. The chloride initially was 104. It dropped down to 103. And then my calcium was 1.9 and it dropped down to 8.8. And then of course you have like your albumin, which my albumin was 4.1, is at 3.9. So my phosphorus was at 78, dropped to 65. So when we get in my minerals, this is supposed to be a mineral compound and it dropped. And that's never happened to me with C1. With Irish sea moss, I never had that happen. So I can tell you, I was totally shocked that happened. Like I was at least expecting to see a bump up, if in nothing else, in my minerals. I was really expecting a bump, right? Now, let's get to the TSH when we're looking at the thyroid. So, my thyroid level, your normal range for your thyroid is 0.34 through 4.82. Initially, with my thyroid level, I was on the lower end at 0.92 and it went to 1.53. So my thyroid level creeped up there some, right? So my vitamin B12, boom, boom, boom. Let me find it on the up-to-date one so I can be. So my vitamin B12, your vitamin B12 can range from 211 to 946. So my vitamin level the last time was 940. This time, 942. That's a little push, right? But the one that I did really, really like, that I was super duper shocked about, that I was excited about, my doctor was excited about, was the iron level. Because my iron level on my old labs, your range for your iron level is 37 to 145 is a normal range, right? Mine at my last one was 18. 18. We wasn't even up on the charts. Like we wasn't even in there. We wasn't nowhere near the normal range. We was at 18, right? So even though we were hanging low still, we was at 36. Like we was knocking on the door of normal. Like kick, let me in, because normal starts at 37. That was a big jump. So I was excited about that. Like, yes, we got big numbers. Booyah. So when I first looked at these, I was like, oh, snap, apple of Eve, you did that. However, as we further get down, the iron saturation of your body, like in your cells, within, when your cells rejuvenate, that should be one thing that goes up. That was one thing. As soon as we saw my iron level went up, we was like, yes, let's see what the saturation is. Because, see, this is where I told y'all I would love to see like a 13, because I always hang around like 4 or 5, or, meaning that fatigue and that anemia really, really sets in. And I would have loved to see like, bam, like super duper, can I knock it out the park, 13, 14, 15, because technically the normal range for iron saturation is 20 to 50. But when you're dealing with pernicious anemia, as long as I have it, your iron saturation, if you can rock that joint at 13 is ideal, where they would like for you to be between 13 and 15. They would like for you to hit 20. But most people who've had pernicious anemia, as long as I have, getting above 20, like 25, 30, things of those nature, a lot of times that just doesn't happen. So I was at 5 at the iron saturation before, and the iron saturation came up to 10. So I'm still what is considered on the low side. I'm still at that point to where they would be trying to tell me to take an iron pill, and I just am not taking an iron pill. I would just go to elderberry syrup and take elderberry syrup until the joker jumps up to 13, and then I'll rotate, because you can't take elderberry syrup for a prolonged period of time. Like you have to take it in spells and then cycle off, right? Okay, so my ferritin was about the same. It was just like a low jump. It went from 5.96 to 7.13. My folate was similar to my iron. It had a nice jump from 11.4 to 18. But my folate took a too high a jump. because with my iron saturation still being really, really low and my iron being really, really high, that folate put me on the borderline of almost being high, which was really strange. Like, me and my doctor had a conversation, like, what could possibly be in the mineral complex that I'm not taking any type of folate supplements. I'm not trying to do any of that would cause my folate to jump and increase like it did. The complete protein, that's where I wanted to go to. So let's go. Let me find the complete protein, you guys. Give me 2 seconds. I did the B12. I said the B12, right? Wait, oh, my glucose. Let me get to that. Okay, so my glucose was at 84 before, right? It was at 97 this time. The normal range is 74 to 106, so I'm still rocking within that, normal range. Where is... I see the C-reactive protein here. I know I took it on the other one, so give me a chance. Because they did not use the same order formats. C-reactive protein. Bam. Okay. So your C-reactive protein is 0.0. 0.0 to 0.49. So when I took it the first time, it was 0.06 when I had it before. This time it was 0.08, right? So now let's get down to my red blood cell counts, the things that came out in the CBC. Okay. So the red blood cell count went from 3.76 to just 4 point even. So a little bit of jump. Like what we were expecting to see when my iron level was so high, and then you have folate kind of rocking in there, and my iron saturation did come up, we were expecting this red blood count and my hematocrit and stuff to have taken a really steep jump. And it just didn't. It was like bare minimal, because as you can see with the RBCs or red blood cell count, it went from a 3.76 to a 4 point even. My hemoglobin actually dropped from an 11 down to a 10.6, and then the hematocrit went from a 31.8 to a 33.3. So the average range for your hematocrit is 36 to 47. So I still was in the low range over there. It really didn't come back up. So for all of these labs, the only one that was just absolutely amazing was my iron, because my iron level took a super big jump. However, my saturation did not jump. So when doing the research and some of it that I just kind of quickly looked, some of that could be the other added minerals or different things were in there, did support the iron, but not actually how the body helps, or the cells, rejuvenate or metabolize those different aspects, right? So is it worth the $75? Now $100, because yes, to the person that inboxed me and said, did I see the new price that is at $100 and they've given you double? I just can't really say. But here's the thing. Like, my doctor is so interested now. Like, actually, all of them. The team is actually interested. It's crazy because everybody was waiting for this. Like, when I got ready to go back, the nurses was like, oh, what? They said you called in about, like, so you coming to get your lab work? I'm like, yeah. They said, yeah, when we heard that you called in, we waiting to see. Because a couple of them do follow Yada on Instagram. And then when I told the doctor about it, and the first time that I brought it in and let him see it, he was like, yeah, let's see what it do. He's kind of a little younger doctor or whatever. He was like, let's see what it do. His suggestion was to try it another month and retest. However, my insurance is not going to pay for it to, I will have to pay out of pocket. to have this in depth of a panel that got done this time, because if you're in the medical field, you know how HMOs work. You have to have some substantial difference. Like if the numbers would have been substantially different, then insurance would have paid for it, because they would have had to back up if it was too large of a gap to be able to determine what that was. You know, is it mishap? Is it medication? Like it could have been all type of things that they could have wrapped it up for the HMO to cover it again. However, he can go back and do a basic panel, meaning he can go back and check my RBCs, my red blood cell count, my hemoglobin, and my hematocrit levels. He can go back and check my iron saturation. He can go back and check my iron. And then I would just pay the difference for my ferritin level, my B12 level, and my vitamin B1. Because vitamin B1, which is thiamine, that joint even dropped. That's the other one I wanted to tell you. So my vitamin B, and I meant to tell you about my ESR. Just one. So I meant to tell you about my ESR as well. So the B1 was, the normal range for B1 is 66.5 to 200. Last time it was 85.7 when I took it last time. However, this time it was 79.3. So that even had decreased. Wasn't expecting that one either. So your ESR will tell you basically if it's some type of swelling or retention of fluid within the body. So my ESR last time, first of all, the normal range for your ESR is 0 to 20. That's normal, right? So my last one was 42. And which is common, because with the way that I rock climb and hike and different things that I do, I usually experience swelling like in around the knee areas, some of my joint areas. They say it's no arthritis. I just don't really necessarily believe that. However, they say it's not. But so it is elevated at times. And how about I go this time and it had dropped to 38. So it really wasn't a real deep drop. That's why I said when I kept telling y'all, I still, the relief I was looking for, like in my knee joints, because that's the main area that I have the issues as far as swelling and things of that nature. I just didn't get it. Like I kept hearing the click clack and, you know, all those even different things. And the last time that I went hiking, because I did go hiking during this 30-day period, it just wasn't like, I mean, I felt the normal of what I would feel when I went after I did a long hike, 4 miles in and 4 miles back out. So it is what it is. But for me, my final on the Apple of Eve product is I just can't see paying the $75 for it. Did the product do some good? Yes, it did. Do I feel like it is worth the amount of money that I paid for it for myself? I can't. My doctor is suggesting, like my doctor was like, yo, like for real. He was like, I think you should really try it and just another month to see. I'm really on the fence with him. I told him that, you know, I would get back with him next week, and I most definitely would let the medical team there know if I decided to go another month. Now, to how I feel about the fact that he's now charging $100 and you're getting 32 ounces. Again, I don't really have a feel. Like people really want me to feel some type of way and say this man is being money hungry and all that. Again, your gift will make room for you. I don't have a problem with that. I kind of think it was a really smart move, because if you're going to make people wait almost 2 months to receive a package, then make sure you're offering something that's going to cover them so they can get the next shipment. So that's telling me that he's not really strong on what his shipping is going to be. So if he give you 32 ounces, technically he doubled it and didn't really double the price. So you're getting more ounces. If you do a teaspoon, it'll get you pretty much through enough time until you order. So basically what people will end up having to do is, as soon as the one get in, by the time the day they start the first dose, the first supplement that they take of it, they'll have to order again to ensure by the time that bottle ends, another one come in. So, I mean, I can't hate the hustle. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You either going to try it or you're not. For me, like I said, I'm kind of on the fence, especially with $100. Like $100? I don't know. Maybe it's somebody else. Like I told my doctor, like, you really put up the 100, you put up the 100, I'll do it again. But I haven't decided yet. So I'll know next week. If I decide to take the journey and do it another month, I will let you guys know. And I may very well, since it's a 32 ounce, that allows me to get a whole month and a half in. And then I'll just redo the basic panel. But thank you guys again for coming on this journey. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And as I stated before, we are over the Apple of Eve. I will tell you all a couple of things. I'll make a couple of short videos in reference to the healing stones and some things people ask me about the healing stones, because I do sell little packets, satin packets that do have some healing stones in there for just encouraging, uplifting, draw negativity away. I do have my waist beads, different things. I'll give information on that. And I also have my love attraction spray as well. I'm excited about that, y'all. I'm so excited because it definitely has took a turn on its own, and it's selling itself right now, and I'm just excited. And I haven't even really made a big batch of it, so I'm excited that my clients that are buying my waist beads are really digging the next product that I'm putting out there. So, and I will keep my word and give out a little bit of information on that. And hey, until next time, good luck with everybody on their journey of Apple of Eve. I hope it's all that you want it to be, all that you need it to be. But until next time, love, peace, and light. Have a good night.